Hey everybody, just want to do a little follow-up video to my last video about saving on the Octatrack, and this one has to do with the record buffer. If you're like me, you can fill up 8 tracks pretty fast, and a lot of us use track 8 as our master track, so that only leaves us with 7. Sometimes I want to bounce stuff down, bounce 3 or 4 tracks into one track to free up some space. Sometimes I want to record each loop as a stem, so I can put those into my DAW and save those within the folder and then import them, like I mentioned in the last video. One of the things I was foolishly doing is, for example, let's just say that I was going to bounce down this snare and hat line. What I was foolishly doing before is I was going to my track 1, which was my kick drum, and I would go in and I would assign the recording buffer 1 to there. And then what that did is it kept my triggers, took my kick drum sound out. I had to remember what sample I had loaded for my kick drum and then go reload it after I got done recording. I realized that I didn't have to do that. Not only did I not have to do that, but and the reason I thought I had to do that is because once I recorded it into track 1, into the record buffer, I needed to be able to get to the edit menu. Let me just show you what I was doing before that was kind of foolish. So I'd go up here, record, I'd add record buffer 1. Great. So now part 1 has record buffer 1. I go into the record menu. I go ahead and set to main because I want to resample. I'll set that to 32. I'll put in a one-shot trig. Okay, now that's in there. And now I knew when I got out and I was on track 1, I could go to the recording buffer. There it was. That way I could edit it, slice it, save it. Then I could, have that available to me as a bounce track or as a stem to run into Ableton or DAW. Here's what I realized this weekend after reading the manual. You always have some epiphanies after reading the manual. Let's put our kick drum back in there. All right, so now my kick drum's back on there. So now we say I want to resample this. Obviously, I don't even need to go to a different track. I can just use the record buffer from any track that I'm on. So we'll just go to, we're already on track 2, so it's automatically going to record buffer 2. We'll set that to the main to resample it. We'll set that to 1, 2, and 32. Put down a record trig. Okay, easy enough. Now here's where the cool part came in that I read about this weekend, and a lot of you guys are going to say, of course I knew how to do that. So if you just go function bank right from here, it'll say edit this recording, save this recording, or save all recordings. I'm going to go ahead and go to edit this recording. Now it's up. As you can see, even though I'm in track 2, it's opening it up in the audio editor in the recording buffer without me having to load it into track 2. The other way, when I was doing it before, I had to load it in and blow out the sample that was in track 2 to get into the audio editor. So we all know from the last go around, we save and assign our sample, we rename it, and yes, we assign it to a free flex. Now there's another handy trick of how you can get into the record buffer. I showed you how to do it directly from the recording menu by going to record and bank and being able to go to edit. There's another way you can do it, and that's directly from this screen, which is cool because we all know that there's recording buffers hidden behind here, whether they're assigned or not. And so we just click the corresponding one, we hit record 1 or record 2, and hit bank. And that takes us into the recording buffer. So that's recording buffer 2 in the audio editor. We want to go to buffer 3, same thing. Hold down record and hit bank. And now that's the recording buffer 3 audio editing window. And the last one is cool that I didn't know a way to access the buffer without loading a sound in is if you are in the sample list here and you just go to any sample, which we know, you could have a ton of samples in here that aren't loaded into actual machines. Like we'll just let's just grab this funky lead here, and it's the exact same key command. So just put your cursor over it and hit function bank, and it'll open it up in the flex slot in the audio editor. This just blew my mind that you can open up these without loading them into machines. I thought they had to be loaded into machines to open them in the audio editor. So you can open the record buffer from the actual record menu. You can open it up directly by going to the machine and hitting record bank, or you can do it just by going to the slot list and hitting function bank as well. Hope you learned something. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button, hit the bell for notification. And if you really want to support the channel further, consider following the link to our Patreon below. We'd be ever grateful if you did. Thanks, and have a great day.